everyone, and welcome to our launch of CSA Reads. Last year, a few of you were involved in CSA Reads at CSA Central, so you kind of have an understanding of how we're going to read a book, and hopefully the other classes will have a chance to read it as well. And we'll really dig into some of the big ideas and come up with our own understanding of the lessons and morals of the story. So, first and foremost, the story that we're going to read is considered a fable. So most of you guys are familiar with fables that have to do with animals, and they teach you a moral or lesson at the end of the story. This is similar, except for this book is a little bit longer and the main characters aren't animals. So this year we're going to read The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. As we read through this book, there are going to be a few things that we need to make sure we understand right away. First and foremost, there's going to be a lot of unusual terminology in this book. And so part of GSP during these next few weeks are going to be about vocabulary. So you're going to want to make sure you understand the geographical vocabulary and the cultural and religious vocabulary that's involved in the book. But also, you're going to want to make sure that you understand the alchemical vocabulary. So first, geographical. This book takes place at the beginning in Spain, and then it takes the main character, Santiago, on a journey into the North Rim of Africa and then across the Sahara Desert. So not only are we looking at different geographical locations like Europe and then Africa, but we're also going to dig into several different cultures. So not only are we going to be immersed in different religions and philosophies, but also cultural traditions. Because as you know, Spain is slightly different from the northern rim of Africa, where we see a lot of cultural tribal differences. Because as you know, from World Civ, the northern part of Africa was very full of nomads and nomadic tribes. So that's the first part of the vocabulary. The second part, like I said, is the religious and philosophical vocabulary. So we're going to make sure that we understand different cultural terms and kind of do a quick refresher of the religion and philosophy that's involved in this region of the world. So of course there's going to be Christianity and there's going to be Islam, a little bit of Judaism. You're also going to see some Hinduism and some Taoism. So if you guys were in Worlds of Faith project last year, you remember Taoism is a Chinese philosophy. But also the third part of the vocabulary is going to be wholly brand new to most of you. And that's where The Alchemist comes in, the name of the book. Alchemy is a medieval science, and I'll put quotations around science because it's not real. There was a very strong belief that you could do alchemy, but it's considered a more philosophical and at times magical approach to things. So basically, alchemy is the belief that through chemical or alchemical reactions, you can turn a base metal like lead into a noble metal like gold. And first and foremost, it was this understanding that you could transform one thing's properties into something else. But it was also a way for people to attain this higher understanding of the world by creating more gold. So that's like the literal look at alchemy. However, Paulo Coelho also wants you to understand that alchemy in this book is also very symbolic because it connects you to understanding how your everyday and at times mundane life can, through hard work and study and understanding, you can change that mundane into that highly prized and valuable new way of living, so that gold standard. So as we follow Santiago through his journey, we understand what his personal legend is and what he has to do in order to get to his personal legend. And then Paulo Coelho uses that to ask you to think about your own personal legend. So we're going to be digging into this idea of how to turn your everyday life, lead, into the better life or gold. So happy reading, everyone.